Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. We're crossing over to Palestine and talking now with Dr. Saeed Elnamrouti of the Gaza University. Assalamu alaikum to you, Dr. Saeed. Welcome to the program.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Can you tell us what is the current situation on the ground there? We've just heard a few minutes ago, earlier on at about 8 o'clock, I made an announcement that there is or has a ceasefire has been announced, and that is that foreigners will be able to leave Gaza and that aid, much needed aid, will be allowed to be brought into Gaza. How much truth is there to that story? And if it is true, is it happening right now as we speak?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. First of all, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we are still breathing and surviving, and hopefully, inshallah, this will end, inshallah, very soon, and the Palestinian community will live in peace, freedom, and dignity, inshallah. However, the last night was the most horrible night in this, in this heroic time and the crazy war. They actually, the Israeli side lost their mind. Nothing stops them from killing and destruction. No rules, no regulation. It's just shooting to kill and bombing to kill and destroy everything. It looks like, the people in the Gaza Strip like waiting their destiny during this barbaric war. We as civilians, and the whole Gaza Strip is civilian. We don't know, the people don't know where to go and how to protect themselves and their kids and family. But inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is it. Actually, all what you have alerted is still fake. Nothing happened. There is no opening for the, borders. And we heard like you that there is an agreement between, the Israeli and Egyptian side and the American side to open the Rafah border to allow people who have double, nationality to pass through, particularly the Americans and others. However, and from the other hand, to allow, the aid, medical aid, food, or whatever to get into the Gaza. It's now it's almost 10 a.m. in Gaza Strip, and it's supposed to be opened by 9. Nothing happened so far, so it's all talk and it's not true. So far, I can assure you, until this moment, nothing happened, and all this is just, talking. Nothing happened on the ground.
Dr. Saeed, we've also heard yesterday a report that was on mainstream media saying that the Zionists have allowed the resumption of water into Gaza. But in another tweet from Abir Zayad, the historian at Al-Quds, said, what's the point? They are saying to the international community that they have allowed water to get into Gaza, but most of the pipes have been bombed. So how is the water going to come through? A lot of the pipes have been damaged, and if they don't give you power, how on earth is the water going to then reach the people of Gaza? Your thoughts?
Also, Also, all is fake and not happen. The Commander General of the United Nations, said that not a single drop of water, not a single grain of wheat or a liter of fuel has been allowed to enter the Gaza Strip during the past 8 days. Nothing happened. So all this is talk, and just, to calm down the situation, to calm down the demonstrations all over the world, and, to get the impression that there is something happened. Nothing happened. The only thing that happened is a barbaric war, a genocide war against civilians, destruction everywhere, killing everywhere. You know what? This day is the 10th day of this aggressive war against the whole population in the Gaza Strip. Each day, almost now, we have more than 2,700 has been estimated. Almost 10,000 has been injured, which means that each day we have 300 people martyred and 1,000 has been injured. So we are talking about a massive destruction, a massive killing, a huge amount of blood. And please be aware that 50% of those who have been assassinated or injured are kids and women.
Okay, we're also hearing the United Nations Secretary General Guterres has appealed to Hamas to release captives without conditions and for Israel to allow rapid and unimpeded humanitarian aid and access to the Gaza Strip. But you're saying that that is not happening right now.
Nothing happening right now, and these are political issues. What we are as civilians can do with this agreement or whatever. People have here in the Gaza Strip has no electricity, no water, no food, no medicine. They ask even the hospitals to evacuate from the south to the north. They ask the people to evacuate from the south to the north of the Gaza Strip. And then while they driving to the north, they bomb them. 70 people have been killed and more than 2,000 has been injured. So no place is safe, even the hospital. How come hospitals are full of the people who have been killed or injured and need critical, treatment? Ask them to evacuate, warn them to evacuate the hospital. Even the Narwa schools are under great danger. Thousands of people are there. It's very crowded. It's very, very bad situation and bombing everywhere, including besides even these schools. So I mean, the whole situation is horrible. It's nothing happened. There is no agreement so far. We don't see anything. We see the bombs and we see only the floods, unfortunately.
Okay, let me also ask you about President Abbas says that Hamas actions do not represent all of the Palestinians. How do you feel about that?
Look, we as Palestinian community under the Israeli occupation for 75 years. I can say something that, all the world says that Palestinian-Israeli conflict. There is no Palestinian-Israeli conflict. There is a brutal occupation has occupied the whole Palestine in 1948 and in 1967 with the expelling of people from their own hands, with the destruction of the infrastructure, with the killing and the imprisonment of hundreds of thousands of the population. This is the main root of the problem. If the occupation ends, all this will end. The flood will end. The occupation will end. Palestinians will live with peace and dignity. This is the real root of the problem. I'm not looking about what Abu Mazen or other people. We are civilians. We deserve to live with peace. We deserve to live with dignity. We deserve to live with the freedom. I have to protect myself. We have to protect ourselves and our country. It's granted by international law. So the Palestinian community needs once and forever the modern community who claims all the time that they are protecting democracy, protecting the human rights. They have to come and stop this killing and stop this barbaric war and put an into the Israeli occupation. The problem is occupation. Once the occupation ends, everything is ends, and we can live with peace and freedom, inshallah.
Dr. Saeed, how do you feel about the fact that, and we're seeing some very graphic pictures on, as I speak with you, it is absolutely horrific, of a dead child. And I think there's hundreds more of those pictures that we'll be seeing in the coming days. We hope and pray, inshallah, that this ends sooner than rather being stretched out. But regarding support from the other Arab states around Palestine, are you expecting anybody to come to the assistance of the Palestinian people, or do you think they don't want to get involved in this war because they then will be targeted as well? And it might just create a war in the Middle Eastern region, bringing in a whole lot of um, other players and create absolute mayhem in the Middle East.
Yeah. Actually, the demonstrations have taken place all over the world. We have no problem with the nations. even with the Western community. We know that the people try to know the fact as it stands. They support the Palestinian cause, and they demonstrate to stop the killing and the bloodshed that occur in Palestine. So I need the whole community, Muslim community, Arab community, and even the Western community support the Palestinian cause. The problem is the government, the Western government that blind their eyes and support Israel by all means possible. They need to look from the other hand to the Palestinian side. Yesterday, of course, you heard about the Palestinian kid of 60, he's the sixth age in Illinois in the USA. He has been stamped by an American 26 times has been stamped until death, and his mother has been stamped for 12 times. This is the result of the speech of hate that occur from the government that they support the other side, support the Israeli side at the expense of the Palestinian side. We need to look once that there is a nation lived under the sphere of occupation for more than 75 years. They need to put an end to this brutal occupation. If this happens, everything will go okay and everyone will live, in peace and dignity.
You are absolutely correct when you talk about the stabbing and the killing of a 6-year-old Muslim boy, and his mother was seriously wounded in the Chicago area. This was reported by the Council of American Islamic Relations, and they've said that a 71-year-old white man who was the landlord of this little boy and his mother has been charged with murder after authorities say he stabbed the boy 26 times and seriously wounded his 32-year-old mother simply because they are Muslim. We need to leave it there. Dr. Saeed, I'm very pleased that we were able to connect up with you. I was afraid that there is probably a total blackout in Gaza. And I'm so pleased that your phone is still operational so that we can keep on connecting with you and other people to bring us what is happening on the ground there. Please just know that you spoke about mass protests all around the world. A lot of those protest actions are happening here in South Africa, with Muslims and non-Muslims being on the marches, and we are undergoing major fundraising drives to send necessary food and medical supplies to Gaza. So just spread the news amongst the people as they are losing hope. Tell them that the whole world, including South Africa, is keeping their plight alive in the media, community media, and we are doing everything possible to raise much needed funds for our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Okay, I seem to have lost Dr. Saeed Elnamrouti, and he is a professor at the university in Gaza. The time is 7 after 9 o'clock, and that, of course, means that our news correspondent, Zai Jadwin, is standing by to bring the bulletin of the day to us right here on News and Views on Tiller Media.